Hello, good evening, and welcome to 2 Point Hospital. This game just released today on Steam, and for those who might be unaware about what it is, it's a hospital management simulation game with a pretty lighthearted and jokey theme to it. Now the game is rooted in nostalgia for a lot of people, and that's because the original creators of Theme Hospital have recently formed their own studio, got some backing through Sega, and this is their first project. It's basically a faithful adaptation or recreation or spiritual successor to Theme Hospital. Now, I haven't actually played Theme Hospital, so I'm coming in without those rose-tinted glasses on, but from what I've heard, if you do have that nostalgia factor, the game is really ticking all those boxes of what Theme Hospital used to be. But I'm kind of just judging it as a game as it is in 2018, a simulation game. And I think that actually provides a little bit of a unique perspective, because a lot of people have played that original. Now, I've seen and played a tiny bit of it, but just never really played it growing up like a lot of people did. So one of the first things, I thought we'll just go into the gameplay and I'll discuss some mechanics throughout this video before maybe getting to a review in the next few days. I haven't completed the game yet, but I'm about 10 hours into it. Now one of the things that surprised me was actually that there's no campaign, or there's no sandbox. There is a campaign. There's no sandbox mode. You can't just go in and build a hospital in free creative mode or anything like that. Maybe you can at the end of the game, I'm not too sure. But right now, you're on a kind of a more linear, well not even that linear, but a linear path at first for a campaign with set hospitals around this world map and set kind of objectives and layouts and things like that. And that's actually okay. At first I was a little bit like, oh, no sandbox, what the hell? But now I'm kind of like, oh, actually it's pretty cool. It doesn't really need it. It's kind of designed not to have it in a way. So on your first hospital, you'll be kind of learning the basics of the game, and then more basics, and as you get different stars, you get different rewards, and that gives you more technologies, more buildings, more kind of things to build with, and diseases to cure, etc. as you move on. Now, you can always just get 1 star, move on to the next place, and then come back if you've got a little bit later technology and you want to make it easier for yourself. I actually found the beginning of the game extremely easy and slow-paced, so I kind of wish it just had a more advanced kind of tutorial to let you get to grips with stuff a bit quicker, but oh well, whatever. The game is really starting to open up now and get way more engaging and more interesting around the 5-6 hour mark, which I'm around the 10 hour mark now. So we'll have a look at this hospital here. If you don't want anything spoiled, you know, if you liked Theme Hospital and you want to just see the cool and quirky fun diseases, I would just recommend the game already. Like it's pretty good, and from what I've heard from people that played the original, it's just even better. So I would go in that way. If you're a bit more on the fence, skeptical, watch the video then, I guess, and we'll be talking about some of that stuff and spoiling just little bits here and there. But generally speaking, I don't know, it's kind of hard to spoil actual simulation games, but this game is such a humorous kind of theme to it, you know, you don't want to ruin the jokes for yourself, so just bear that in mind. Alright, so we're going to be looking at Mitten University. We can see that this place is actually further up north, and it's actually colder up here, and that's going to play a mini effect in what we do and how we build. The other interesting thing is, because it's a university, when we recruit doctors, hire doctors and nurses, they actually come with no experience, and we have to train them ourselves, which is pretty interesting. So you can see how just little things like that actually do change how you will play. So let's jump on into it here, and we'll see that also hospitals all have their own different layouts. So not only do you have their own little quirks and their own little things that you gotta kind of make it a little bit challenging, but they've got their own layouts. So you don't actually design a hospital by building the walls and the framework. You design what goes inside the framework that's already there. So for instance, if we wanted to buy this plot, we'd have to pay 50,000 and it would just light it all up and unlock. Other maps have like construction sites that take a little bit more time to build, but this one just has predetermined kind of buildings that were kind of instant unlocked as soon as you want them. So I'm going to go through the UI here a little bit before we let time play and introduce you to some of the stuff that's been going on. Like I said, for instance, if we were to hire someone, they don't have any of these little holes filled, and they're basically trait slots, so they're all empty, and they don't have the required star rating, I think, to get more and more traits. So they're all level 1, and they're all pretty blank canvases. I think the assistants and janitors are fine, but it's just the doctors and nurses that are here to be trained. And we get new applications for people in one day. They're all basically the same though in this place, so it doesn't really matter. But typically in a normal hospital or a different one, you might be getting people that are really good and they cost a lot more, and you get all these different applicants all the time. So how do you train them? Well, basically you have a little training room that you unlock later on. The game is fully 3D. You can rotate all the way around, which is cool. And you have this like kind of lecture room, and you can decide, well, what do I want to get? I want them to be good at psychiatry. I want someone who's good at being a GP or whatever else. So for instance, if we have a look at Dr. Brangelina Quiche, we can see that she's got general practice and treatment as some of her skills. So if we have a look at staff, we filter by doctors. She's all the way here at the top. She's a 3-star doctor. She's available for another training because of that 3rd star, and you can see she's progressing just a little bit. I don't know if it's easy to see that or not, but she's progressing to the next rank just by working and just by being here, and she'll probably request a higher pay at some point, a promotion. So, you know, just by all this information I've just thrown at you right now, it's actually got a little bit of depth to it. Even though it's a little lighthearted, cartoonish style game, it's got a decent amount of depth, and it really does get deeper and deeper as you go further into the game, which is great. And that's what I was worried about at the beginning. I was like, oh, it seems really simple, really cartoonish, like, I don't know. But it's getting deeper as we go on, which is really good to see. And it's in a manageable way as well, which is nice. So, like I said, she's got GP. Let's say we wanted... Our GP rooms are actually kind of fine right now. They're not really overcrowded, but rooms that are overcrowded are psychiatry rooms. For some reason, if we hover over this, we see all those numbers. That's the people in the queue waiting to go into this room, and they're just full up. I've got 4 psychiatry rooms in total. There's one over here as well, and they're just busy. I don't know why there's nothing in this room. It's a really boring ass room, but I didn't have the time and money to put stuff in a while ago. But anyway, they're just really busy. So what we kind of are in need of is more psychiatrists, and maybe to build more psychiatry rooms, or just something to get kind of process them faster. So let's say we did want to do that. We could go, hey, we've got 5 people with psychiatry, but we only have... Oh yeah, we don't have anybody that's available for psychiatry too. So they kind of have to rank up. So let's say this person, for instance. If I could just select them. I can only select... There we go. Oh, awkward. So there they are. So they're almost level 2. They're a student doctor. They're probably pretty fresh. As soon as they get into like level 2, then we could say, you know what? We want to make these psychiatrists even better and quicker at doing what they're doing. And we could get psychiatry 2, and that'll give 20% increased skill and diagnosis and treatment. So we could be like, yeah, let's get that, and we can get this person to come in to fly in, because nobody has psychiatry 2 at the moment. We can get them to fly in and teach it to people, and then we can assign people that are eligible for it. And they'll just fill up the room. Now, I think I built it a little bit too much. I got a little overexcited in that room. It's a pretty cool looking room because of how I built it, but typically you really only need about 8 tables. You're never really going to be training more than 8 people at once. Anyway, that's just a little look at like training. This is very specific to this hospital. You do kind of have to do it in other places, but here you don't really need to. Now, something else I wanted to do is, here's our objectives. Okay, we want to get to a 2-star hospital, unlock some stuff, and then we'll try to see if we have time to do some of the tasks that are required for tier 3. What we need is 2,000 research points. So one of the first things I learned in this place as well was to build a research room. We can start a new project. So let's say I kind of want to get injection rooms, because I'm getting people that are coming by saying, oh, I've got this illness, but they can't be treated here because they need injection rooms. We don't have the technology to build that yet. So we'll start the project. Our doctor in here, Dr. Victor Bain, should be able to figure out what he needs to do to get that done. And he's not very happy with his pay. He has been working here a while. We'll increase his pay, give him a little pay rise, make him a little bit happier. And he'll just get cracking on that. So we can see that's going up. We need 2,000 points. Okay, someone died. Well, what can you do? Oh, a patient has died, and that's created a ghost. So, like I said, it's a pretty lighthearted game. When someone dies, they turn into a ghost, and they kind of haunt the area and cause disruptions and cause delays and things like that, you know, which is obviously annoying. So you need to get a janitor to come along and vacuum them up. So it's pretty funny, I think. And they drop ectoplasm and stuff, just freaking people out. So I'm sure there's a janitor somewhere that'll probably take care of that. I'm not worried. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So yeah, our research is ticking away, which is actually, you know what? This is kind of annoying me. Where is our nearest janitor? So this person here, this person here, this person here. So let's get this guy. Henrietta, this girl. Drop him right there. And they should take care of that. They should take care of that problem. Suck him up. Ghostbusters style. Alright, cool. So we got rid of that. People will calm down and it'll all be fine. I can see why we need so many psychiatric wards now. So we're about to hit 2,000. We're getting like little messages down here like, hey, this person's ready for promotion. Okay, we can do that. Hey, we need an injection room. We can tell the patient to wait or send them home. So I'll send them home. We don't have one right now, and they'd be waiting a long time, which would put down our reputation. So we've got a reputation down here and the general level. Just gonna see if I can turn that down at the moment. I think that's Tanny volume. Tannoy. The DJ volume, we'll turn that down as well. Okay. So we're at a level 11 hospital. The better the level, the more patients that will be kind of coming in. Same with reputation, I think. So we've got quite a lot of patients filtering through. Right now, we've got 56 people in the hospital. You can filter them by health. So you can be like, okay, this person is like really, really sick. Maybe they need to be increased in the queue of where they are. They're actually not in a queue right now. This person is. You can see the queue right there. They're in the bathrooms at the moment. So, I don't know. This is basically it. We'll do some building now in a second. So, like I said, we're about to hit that 2,000. I've got $200,000 dollars at the moment. So, let's unlock the plot of land for number 3. And it's as simple as that. Usually, if it's a construction site, it takes a little while to build. But because it's already built, it's not going to take long at all. And this guy's almost... Actually, he's going to take quite a while to finish that. He's on 200 out of 2,000. So, maybe we could speed it up. Because it'd be good to, you know, test out building an injection room, potentially. Just to show you what the building is like. But apart from that, let's see what else we can have a look at. So we can order our staff and see... Oh, we hit our level 2. Nice. Congratulations, your hospital has been awarded a 2-star rating. So basically this has given us an encyclopedia bookcase and an easy scan 3. So the machines in your hospital can also be upgraded. These are done by janitors and maintenance workers. We earned $20,000 and 150 kudos. So we can just hit continue for now. So our next job is to train 20 staff, research 4,000 points, and cure 100 patients, and have a cure rate of 60%. A patient's cure rate right now is 100%. I guess because it's just starting now and we've only cured one person, so that might start to dip as the next 20 minutes goes on by, and some people might die like that other person did. So an easy scan, let's say for instance, here's our machine, our easy scan. It can go up to level 3 now, so we can just pay $20,000 to upgrade that. A maintenance worker... Oh my god, this person needs to go to the bathroom badly. A maintenance worker can come in and just, you know, figure that out. And we need to train 20 new staff. So let's say, for instance, we were talking about the psychiatry thing a little bit earlier. Let's just see who's available for psychiatry 2 now. There's 2 people available. So we can click that. We can say, let's fly someone in to do it. And it's 10,000 per trainee. So we're going to get 2 people trained in it. And that's going to cost 10,000 as well. And now we should see a helicopter kind of come in, deliver the VIP who's going to come in and teach 2 people how to be better at psychiatry. And then these people should be processed faster because there's still 6 people waiting to get into this room. There's the helicopter there. So it's pretty cool. The other things that we have going on right now, let's say, are the hospital attractiveness. We've got some bushes and things around. We've got the general health of the place. Some people are kind of sick as they're running around, obviously. We've got patient happiness, staff happiness, hunger, staff energy, you know, all this different stuff. Hygiene, temperature of the different rooms. Temperature was really just introduced for the first time in this particular place. I'm sure later on more hygiene related things will be introduced because I haven't seen too much about that yet. But there are things like hand sanitizers and things like that. Alright, so let's just have a look at a few of these. So some people want promotions. I'll just auto do that. That's fine. An inspection report. Okay. Injection room required. Send them home. And that clears our kind of notifications for now. Another promotion. Now you don't have to do it that way. You can also do kind of an overview and go staff and see like how often you want to let them take their breaks. You could go into the finance panel and decide, where is it specifically now? I think it's in staff pay review. Yeah, here. So I could say, look, this is how everyone's feeling about their pay. Pay satisfaction is pretty much in the middle. So that's not too bad, but you kind of want it to be maybe the most unhappy people. You could increase their pay a little bit, and you can see the little faces getting happier. And we could just be like, yep. And over time, the morale of the place will go up, and they'll perform better at their jobs if you pay them better. But you could be a little stingy if you wanted to be, and just see how you can kind of get the most money when you need it. This is the first map where I've actually had to kind of lower where people are getting paid because I was running out of money at the beginning, and you can always get a loan and adjust how much you make and how much you get and how much you pay off. So it can get kind of in depth with regards to that. But something I will say is it's kind of like SimCity or one of those games where when things are going wrong, it's fine. Like nothing really too bad is happening. You're not shutting down. Nothing. It's not like you can never claw your way back. I feel like if you always just wait, you'll probably end up start making money and then things will like eventually come up. So in that regard, It's a little one-dimensional just because, or maybe not that difficult, at least not yet. Because even when I was like starting to lose money and stuff, I just take a loan and then things would just naturally kind of come back up. All right, so we've got this new area. Let's maybe start building something, and then we can talk through what goes on with patients. Actually, we'll talk with what goes on with patients first. So we've got a reception desk here. A patient will come in, get seen by reception. Reception will then send them typically to a GP who's going to diagnose them. And if they can't really diagnose them, they might send them to a nurse, or the other way around. Maybe go here first, general diagnostics. The nurse will be like, oh, I think this might be wrong with you. Go to the GP. GP will specialize further. And then they'll be sent to, they'll get diagnosed with a proper disease. They might have some weird thing, like this is for lightheadedness people. This is for, you know, people with night fever. And like this guy, he just thinks he's Elvis, you know. He needs to go to psychiatry. He's got to get figured out. This person could have chromatic disease or something, where they're basically just one color and they get blasted with paint and they get fixed. There's all these bunch of weird different diseases, so they'll get figured out and sent around then. So like I said, we need to kind of get an injection room, but we're going to be a little while before we get that. We've got this guy, he's 520 out of 2,000 now for that. But let's start building another room. I'm trying to think, what would we need that we could build an example of right now. We've got training going on as well at the moment. I don't know, man. Pretty much everything's kind of running fine, but we do have a lot of space that we could expand into and just increase the amount of everything going on. Once your reputation goes up and your level goes up, you can just do more things. So if we click rooms, we can see all the different rooms that are available to us. We've got an injection room, chromotherapy, a PANS lab. All these are very specific to healing illnesses, and then other ones up here are more specific to different things. We could try cardiology. Let's do that. It requires a nurse, and the minimum room size is a 3x3. We'll make it a little bit bigger. We'll make it a 4x4. We'll pop it there in this new kind of area. Build a door. We'll pause it for now. Put in a running machine. And I guess that's all we need. It actually doesn't really require that much. I wonder, could it have a second one? No, it can't. It can only really have one. Okay, well then we'll move it to the middle. So this then will be staffed by a nurse. We could put a hand sanitizer. Because this place is cold, we'll need maybe a radiator there. What else could we do with? We can make the place look nice. This will raise prestige a little bit of the room. The room prestige will basically determine the happiness of people whilst they're working in there. We could decorate it with a few posters just to make it look a little nicer. The more different things you have as well, the more the prestige will go up. So it's better than just planting the same plant around everywhere. Maybe a food poster. And I don't know, maybe a couple different types of plant and a bin or something like that. Drinking fountain in case people get thirsty when they're running. A bin. And no harm with a fire extinguisher in case this machine catches fire. And then we can just go, yep. Boom. Build the room. Nice. So hopefully we've got some staff that can kind of work in this room. I don't really know what the cardiology room does. I think maybe some people just might need to be tested out there. I don't really know. I don't know if I've had anyone come by that needed it. So it says a nurse is required. What we could probably do is get a couple extra nurses. So we'll hire that person. We'll hire this person. And we'll hire this person. So we just hired 3 new nurses. One of them will figure it out and go in there. There we go. Sammy Boffin has decided to go in. But the reason I hired up more than we need is because we can actually train the remaining 2 in the meantime to do better things. Oh crap, someone died. Get sucked up, man. That's the chromatic disease I was telling you about, by the way. It's kind of funny. It's like, oh, the doctors need to diagnose it. It's pretty obvious what's wrong with that person. Or this one, for instance. I think they're lightheaded, you know? But hey, it's all good. It's all fun and games anyway. So that's kind of like the building aspect. Something that's cool with the building as well is you can edit a room, pick it up and just move it around, rotate it. It's very flexible, and I really like that. Because when you're redesigning things and maybe you want a whole psychiatric wing, maybe this whole building here should just be psychiatric, you know, because we need it so badly. You could just lift up and move the GP's offices. So it's really nice how flexible that kind of system is. So how are we doing with the injection rooms? That's really what I'd like to get done. So let's speed up time. We'll play at 3 times speed and try to get that done. So injection room required, I know. This guy has said he's giving me a challenge to earn 400,000 in 90 days. We could just accept it. I don't think we're going to be able to do that, but we could just accept it. Challenge: cure 6 patients with rock bottom. treatment room, and injection room. See, we can't do that, unfortunately. We really need that injection room. So some of the stuff we can look at while things are going on in the background are our staff happiness and all that stuff, staff energy. So staff have to be, they need to go on breaks, and that's why you can't just have one for everything. You kind of need multiple people, because they're going to go into their little staff room here, take a break, chill out, and then they'll go back re-energized. And you can actually set how long you want them to take breaks and be off duty for, you know, which is pretty nice. Oh, we've got someone in here now. So they had an appointment at a GP's office after they've done, I guess, extra diagnosis in the cardio room. That nurse was pretty happy. A student nurse. Oh, we're upgrading this machine, I think, to an easy scan too. It's just janitor just banging away at it. They'll figure it out. Actually, I think it was being maintained. And then this one could be up to an easy scan 3, I think. That's going to cost money, obviously, doing that. And then the same with all these buildings, really. Like a dehumidifier at level 2, that's going to cost 10 grand. And then our different janitors and things will need to run around and figure that stuff out. We've got a ward down here. So a lot of these rooms are like to hold people while they're getting diagnosed and being figured out as well, before they have to go into one of these major rooms and get, you know, really worked on. Uh-oh, this person just died. So the reason they die is because they have a chance of success, right? So this guy had a 72% chance that misery guts would be cured. Maybe the person working on it just is a junior nurse. He just maybe wasn't that good at treatment. He doesn't have a treatment skill, so that could be why. So his chance of success, and then the person working on him just probably wasn't enough to get the job done. And this machine maybe could have been better, upgraded or whatever. And that guy's gonna die now because we weren't very good. But hey, it's a training hospital. That's to be expected. Oh, it looks like we will actually earn 400,000. So you can look at your revenue reports. So each month I'm earning 83,000. Oh, I'm not going to earn it actually, not even close. So yeah, 83,000 per month, and that's going to take 90 days. So 3 months, I'd need to be earning way more to be actually able to do that. So this says send the patient home. Staff training required. Not now. Not now. New illness discovered. Lycanthropy. Once thought to be extinct, lycanthropy is making a comeback in dangerous forests across the land. Sufferers get it from direct exposure to light from the full moon, or possibly from door handles. Research is ongoing to discover which. We'll send the patient for treatment in our pharmacy. So injection room, injection room, injection room. I get it. We need that damn injection room. We've got our top dogs working on it. I don't think you can have multiple people work. I'm not too sure. I do have 2 desks. Maybe you can. Maybe that's what we'll need to do. So we'll pop in research in here. So we want people to learn how to do research more. We'll get our researcher to do it, and he'll train maybe just a couple of... I feel like we need new doctors to train, so we'll get new doctors in. So blank slates, boom. We'll just get 2 more, and then he can train them. Because we don't want to get too many, obviously we can't sustain that. So we'll go with research. We'll get... Actually, I'll get someone else to come in, that way we can keep researching. So we'll just pay for the extra guy to come in. And then these 2 new doctors down here, boom, start training. So they're going to learn the research, and when he goes on his breaks or whatever, we can still maintain our technology research. We're halfway done with it now. And we'll just keep time moving. Time is going as fast as we can right now. And it looks like we've got just 1 person waiting for this room. Not too bad. Now out here, while people are waiting, you can have benches around, you can have snack machines, and you can set the prices of these to kind of earn more money and see if people are happy with kind of paying that amount. Actually, let's go to the prices screen. So the price reputation, people are in the middle right now. We were actually at negative 10% for everything. So if we really wanted to make more money, we could. Like for instance, our lycanthropy pharmacy, we could bring that down. Let people get their drugs a little bit cheaper. So every time you get a successful diagnosis and you get a successful treatment, people paid for that treatment. You get the money for it. And that's how you make money. And your salaries go out at the end of the month, but your income kind of comes in as people are paying throughout the month. So that's kind of how it works. And that's kind of everything, you know? That's pretty much everything that you're doing in 2 Point Hospital so far. Obviously, the more diseases and illnesses you come across, the more rooms and buildings you need, the more specialities you need to focus in. But there's a lot here to manage, like how efficiently you're doing stuff. Now as well, if you want that extra challenge, you can go online and be like, oh, I'm going to do a training challenge or a research challenge, and challenge friends. We could just click it. We could challenge the Rambler, Mitch, other people to play the game, who have it. They'll always have people who own the game up the top as first, and then other people later. And it's like for 180 days, it'll see how many people you can do. So it's like, okay, let's say we'll do a training challenge. It runs for 180 days. And then at the end of those days, it'll say, hey, you trained 10 people. And then Alex or Mitch or whoever might have to try and beat that. So it's pretty simple stuff. This room is actually super busy. Wow. There's 5 people queuing outside for it. So maybe we could just build another one. Another cardiology room, which would require another nurse. But we can just largely build it the same. This is one thing that I'm a little, not annoyed about, but I'd like it if you could actually copy and paste rooms. Because sometimes you just want a room to be the same, you know? Like a ward or a GP's office. Like, they don't really need to be that individualistic. But you can't. I don't think you can anyway. So it's a bit of a shame. Okay, level 3 prestige room. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's fire that up. And then when the nurses come out of training, which they're actually done now. Oh, the training's actually done, which means we could have another person in here, I think. Extra staff. Yeah, nice. So we've upped the staff of this room to 3. So let's get them in. So what we want to look at is staff. Done. Boom. We want to go by qualifications, and we want to look at, there's a researcher here. We'll pick them up, drop them in. A researcher here, pick them up, and drop them in. And now research should be going even faster. Because we got 3 people. Our finest minds all in there. She doesn't look like she's doing anything. Oh, you know what? There's only 2 desks, so I'm guessing that's probably why only 2 people can do it at once. But that's fine. It's still going faster. So we're almost done. And we almost have the injection room. Now we can cure some new illnesses. And we still need to train new staff all the time and stuff. But this is just to get our tier 3 hospital. Which will just get us more items and better machines and better rooms. So that we can go into the next mission with an easier time. And it looks like they're using that room now with no problem. Patient has given up waiting for an injection room. Yeah, I know. Training, again, injection room, staff promotions. Yes, cool. So everything's going pretty easily. I don't really think there's much else to talk about. I'm just kind of waiting now. The art style in the game is really, really nice. I really like it. It's super, like, it's obviously cartoony and jovial or whatever, but I actually kind of like that for this game. And the way buildings get plopped down and the way there's all these, like, unique animations for all these different machines and stuff, it's really cool and fun to watch. This poor guy, what's his deal? He's got an appointment in a GP's office. He looks very sad. He's feeling bored. He's been here for 63 days. Obviously, you want to get people in and out as quickly as possible as well. He's number 1 in the queue for this GP. There we go. He should be heading in now. So he's going to be seen by Dr. Archie Larder. He should have chromatic whatever. Oh, now he's got an appointment at cardiology. It's like he couldn't figure it out. Send him to cardiology. Get him to run a bit because he's gray. But yeah, the better the diagnosis, that doctor could have like figured it out straight away, but he didn't. I've got another guy dying here. People often die coming out of that pharmacy, I guess. All right, what are we at now? Okay, we're almost done. 1730, and then we'll get finished. And then we should get a whole list of new rooms, or just a new room. Oh, we've got an injection room right here. I don't know how we've done that. We actually haven't finished. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Oh, so these are the, every year there's like awards to see who got like what. We can just open all. It takes quite a while. You kind of compete against other, like, make-believe, what's it called? Hospital chains, I guess. So the Jumbo Megacorp, the Orb Foundation. If friends have played these levels, they'll appear in these names as well, which is pretty cool. So I was seeing that I was beating Alex in some things and he was beating me in others, which was fun. So hopefully after more people get the game, and if you have friends that have it, it's kind of just nice to see where you rank with other people. There's no global rankings though, which is kind of disappointing. So yeah. Oh, it's an upgrade to the injection room. It'll actually make the injection room better. Wow. Wow. So I actually had it the whole time. So the injection room only needs to be a 3x3 minimum. So we'll do 3x4. Pop it down here. Oh god. Oh my god. It does not look safe at all. A jab master is what it's called. Pop a little thing down there. A little radiator to make people happy. Oh yeah, this room is probably cold. Put a radiator in there. Hand sanitizer, obviously. Maybe a little bin. couple prestige items, like plants and stuff, and maybe a few posters. Obviously, when you're playing yourself, you should take a little bit more time with that and kind of make it look nice if you want. You don't have to, but it's kind of nice to do it. And then we'll say, yep. And then this room will need a nurse. I don't know if it needs a nurse that actually specializes in injections, or if we can just grab anyone. Let's just test it. Yeah, she can work here. No problem. I think they specialize in treatment, and that would help them be better. Alright, we've got an injection room. Knowing this place, that place would probably be actually pretty full up. And I'm guessing that we're researching... Yeah, we just finished our research. So the Jab Master 2 has been unlocked. So we could upgrade that for 10,000, get a Jab Master 2, and then people will get cured their injections a little bit better and quicker. We've got our first patient here. Right in the butt. Of course. Of course. Where else would you inject them? And then our little janitor will make that better. So our nurse had a successful cure. No problem. Chance of success was 82. The illness difficulty was kind of low. The diagnosis was 100% sure. And the staff skill was kind of bad, but it didn't really matter. So there you go, guys. That's kind of 2 Point Hospital in a nutshell. We'll just pause it there. We'll go back out to the menu just for now. Like I said, you can back into any other hospital you want and just continue in a different place if you want. Your money starts off fresh, though, in every place. Your overall money doesn't really matter, I don't think. Now, what we can have a look at is our career. And you can see, like, if you have 3 stars in Mitten University, you'll hit 200k, which is 200 kudosh. We can get 100 kudosh from unblocking 100 toilets. So that kudosh, what we can do with that now is we can go back in. And if we were to go into the items section and scroll down, there's tons and tons of items. If we wanted to make stuff look cooler, let's say we want a gold star award. This guy didn't really earn that reward, but hey, it looks good in the room. And that'll increase the prestige of the room actually quite a bit. And if you have got a higher level prestige room, obviously the guy feels better and so on. So there's like lots of little upgrades and things you could get to make, I don't know, to customize it a little bit more, to make people happier where they are, to make people have more to do. Like an arcade machine in the, for instance, in the staff room would be great. It would give people recreation time. And that's kind of the game. So that is 2 Point Hospital in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of a live commentary, long form video for me. I'm working on a review. So if I get all the way to the end, obviously, which I plan to do, then I'll do a review of the game. And I can let people know a little bit more my overall succinct thoughts on it. But I'm having a lot of fun with the game. Now that it's actually opened up and it's getting a bit more challenging, I much prefer it. This playthrough hasn't really shown that as an example, because now I'm making good money. But for the first, I don't know, the first hour of this hospital in this kind of area here, it was pretty challenging. I was taking loans out. A lot of people were dying and stuff. And I don't know, it was just a little bit more challenging to run it successfully. But I do feel like if you just wait, you know, over time, things do just kind of correct themselves and get better. So far, it hasn't really been that challenging. It's just been like, there's a really good way to do things, and then there's just a way to do things. You know, you can always get better, not necessarily get worse. That's just how it kind of seems to me. You can be more efficient or less efficient, not like fail completely. That's kind of how it feels. Maybe that's just how I've been playing it, but that's just how it's been feeling so far. Alright guys, this game is, by the way, on CD Keys. CD Keys are obviously affiliated with me, or I'm affiliated with CD Keys. If you buy it there, it's, I think, 10% off, extra off Steam. So it's a little bit cheaper over on CD Keys, and I get a little kickback. So if you want to support me and this channel, I'd really appreciate it. If not, don't worry. And like I said, I'll have a review out in a few days, giving it a score and more succinct thoughts of the negatives, the good and the bad. The only bad that I can think of right now is just that it was a really easy and slow start, and there doesn't seem to be too great of a challenge in there. But apart from that, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a lighthearted, jokey, kind of fun little game. So I recommend it. Alright, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.